Okay, for my solar panel install, what I've decided to do is use this strut channel that you buy at, I bought mine at Menards, but you can buy it at most any hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot. And it's used for electrical work usually, to mount outside electrical panels and boxes and things like that. I've cut it to almost like 8 feet in length. I mounted my solar panel brackets here. And I had to use some washers, as you can see there underneath them. So I've got my solar panel so that the back 7 or so inches basically hangs over the back 7 of my camper roof, because I have caulking there, die-core it looks like, back here in this last 7 inches. So I want to be able to get to that any time in case it ever needs replaced. I don't have to pull my panels off. So that's why that hangs over 7 inches past the mounting bracket here. So I've got them all four. I got 4 solar panel mounting brackets installed. In mine, I bought the curved ones because my roof is curved. So when I put the strut down and mount the strut down, I'll have to be able to adjust the bracket here for the curvature of my roof. Plus, it allows me to pull them off if I ever need to, if I ever wanted to. I can just pull these 2 bolts off and pull the panel off if I ever wanted to. Anyway, they got all 4 that way. So our next big step here, and it's going to be the hardest step of all, is I want to put this assembly as is on the roof. So I think I need to round up some help and maybe get Michelle some Wheaties, and I'll go stand on the roof while they or she hands up this whole assembly to me while I'm on the roof. I can center it up there and mount it down, and then my other 2 panels will use the same strut channel. I want to mount one solar panel across the front between these 2 pieces of strut, and hopefully that'll be strong enough, but we'll see. Anyway, that's the plan, and our next step is to get this assembly here up on the roof.
While the panels were still on the ground, I applied a 1.5 inch butyl tape to the underside of each of the struts, which is why I needed help here to get the panel up on the roof. Had to go up straight.
Okay, hang on. Oh my God, he's going. Hang on, my shirt was attached. Got it?
Yep.
Can I let go?
Yep.
Okie dokie, now it's up there.
Once the panels were up on the roof, they had to be aligned, and then the backing of the butyl tape had to be removed. To do that, you had to lift the solar panel up on its side to be able to get that backing paper off of the butyl tape. Once the paper is removed from the back of the butyl tape, the panels can be put back down and realigned. Once the panels were down, I had to tighten the bracket, the solar panel bracket. It's a 2-part bracket that was bolted together, so it had to be tightened down.
I watched that about 40 minutes. Can you screw anything down? Huh? Can you screw anything down?
Did I or can't?
Okay. I'm afraid we're not like this. And it's supposed to storm and stop and it's storming in. It's like, as windy as it is, we have better as it is.
I mean, it's taped down on both sides. But sticky shit. Here.
Hey, you left the camera up there in the lane. Yeah.
Now I'm installing the bolts that's actually going to hold it down. And what we're using are well nuts. These are inch, quarter inch, inch long well nuts. And I'm using a quarter inch bolt like this to go down through it to pull it up with a fender washer, all stainless steel. So my process for installing this is to figure out where I want the next walnut, which would be about right in here for me. I drill a pilot hole just through the roof. Doesn't take much. I have to take a 1/2 inch drill bit. So now I have a hole in the roof. I take my well nut, I slide it in the hole, and this has been the hardest part. There it goes. I use one of my fender washers, put it on top, and then one of my 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch bolts goes down into the walnut. And I take my socket and tighten it up. And you kind of get a feel for how tight it needs to be. You just want it tight enough so that the butyl tape down here expands. That means you've got a really good connection with your well nut underneath it. So it's hand tight, nothing too, an extreme, don't hulk it down. And there you go. The butyl tape underneath this has expanded down and it's tight, so you basically have a really good connection there. So I just move on to the next one.
So I just repeated this process every 15 to 16 inches. I put a well nut every 15 to 16 inches just to hold it down really well.
Now I'm going to take some of this Dicor lap sealant. And I know I probably don't have to, but I'm going to caulk all these holes and these screws here. This is an extra preventative measure to keep it from leaking. Once I get all these filled, I'm going to take my Dicor here and put a beader on the side, which will help hold this down, if nothing else, and keep the water from going underneath it.
Once the strut was mounted down to the roof, I could mount the first solar panel back onto the strut. After the first solar panel was installed and aligned, we had to get the second panel up and the third panel up and get those bolted down as well.
I drilled 4 holes in the camper roof and inserted the well nuts. Now I need to put the bracket back over it and screw it down. And the well nuts will expand and hold these solar panels down, hopefully. So let's give this a shot. I'm going to put some die core in there before I actually set this in place. So the die core will help seal it. So I'm going to plug these 2 in and run the cord over to the refrigerator vent.
Each set of 2 solar panels was wired in series, and then the 4 panels themselves are basically parallel down to the MPPTs. So it takes 2 of these solar panels to operate each MPPT that's installed down below.
So I still have 1 more panel to install. It's going to install right on top of these struts right here. These 2 are connected together. And it's going to be then this panel and the panel I have yet to install connected together. And the wiring is going to run down over here to my refrigerator vent. That's the plan anyway. I don't know if anything can be seen out of here or not, but the last solar panel here is bolted down. It was the easiest one to put up by far. We used L brackets and we got all 4 panels up.
Jim's got the solar wire down through the refrigerator vent. Next job
Punch it through the cabinet.
Yeah. Right here we can see the cabinet.
Right.
And we can see the color of the wood, and we can see the wood. So we're pretty sure that's going to drill into the sink cabinet. Okay, he missed anything. Right there's the hole. He's going to run 2 wires through that hole, and then he's going to put 1 above it and try to run 2 wires through that hole.
Once the wires were fed to this cabinet, which is my microwave cabinet, I installed 2 BougeRV 40 amp MPPTs back there, and the 4 wires that came down from the roof, 2 went to each of those MPPTs, and then 2 wires went down to the bus bars, which you've seen before. I also put a couple of fuses there. You can see a solar fuse, 20 amp solar fuse, 20 amp solar fuse, just for extra protection. And that concluded our install of our solar panels. They've been working fine for how long now? A year? We've been using them?
Not quite a year.
Not quite a year. So our solar panels have traveled from Ohio to Shenandoah National Park, and they've traveled to Florida. And in Florida here, we've taken a few vacations to Disney World and to some state parks around the area. And they've been working really well. They've stayed on the roof really well. I've checked them. They seem to, stay up there really good. So this concludes our solar install. The panels anyway, and basically concludes the whole solar system. That's the end
that was the last part of the whole solar system for us, was installing the panels and these MPPTs on our system, which completes it for us. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this series on the solar panels. This is just how we did it. It's not maybe the best way or even the way you would do it, but it seems to work for us really well. Give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you. Yeah, leave some comments. We like the comments. It gives us something to do now that we were retired, just to read the comments and answer questions and answer criticisms. Whatever. You see something we did wrong, go ahead and tell us. So thanks for watching. Bye.